struggling a bit today to start this. I don't know, this is like the 5th or 6th time I've tried to start this video. I think the hair is really throwing me off today. Happy Thursday, Flosstube. Welcome back. My name's Caroline. Hello, crafty friends. Today is Thursday, July 27th, 2023. My name's Caroline, and I am recording here at the Evertote workshop in London, Ontario, Canada. I am the owner of Evertote, which is a small online craft business. I'm the exclusive reseller of Roxy Floss Co products, Hearthside Craftwork products, and I am the host of the Stitch North retreats that happen up here in Ontario, Canada. I'm also the host of the Modern Folk Embroidery retreat that is about to take place this coming October. The first 2 weekends in October, I am so excited to be hosting Jacob DeGraff of Modern Folk Embroidery. He's coming here to London, Ontario. We're going to have 2 wonderful weekend retreats. We still have some spaces available if you would like to join us. You can email us here at the workshop, either myself, Caroline at evertote.ca, or Hannah, H-A-N-N-A-H, at evertote.ca if you'd like some more information. It's going to be a wonderful time. It's going to be a wonderful time. I'm actually going to probably do another quick video about a little bit more about the projects, a little bit more in detail about the projects that we're going to be looking at. We've also added an option to come to either of those weekends just as an attendee without needing to purchase one of the projects. If you're working on another Modern Folk Embroidery piece, we welcome you to bring that to work on. It's going to be a wonderful weekend of friendship and stitching and just a fantastic get together. I'm super excited. So yeah, it's gonna be great. So I have been doing a lot, actually quite a lot of stitching since the last time I saw you, and in the last week I've been working on a fair number of things at home and here at the workshop, working on a few different yeah, a couple of things I've been working on I'm not going to share until I sort of talk about upcoming plans kind of at the end of the video. I've got a few of those, a few new starts planned, but I'm going to show you my finish first. Now I did share this last week on the Flosstube that I record with Carrie, who is the dyer of Roxy Floss Co, on the Evertote Workshop YouTube channel. However, it's a finish. I am sharing this again. I'm sharing this until the cows come home because it is so sweet. So this is the 12 Days of Christmas by Hands on Design, and the day 1 is the partridge, as you can see, and I am doing this as a complete Roxy Floss Co conversion. So the linen is called Candy Apple. It's 32 count fabric, and I am using a Roxy Floss Co floss conversion for the colors. So some of the colors are a little bit different than, you know, so this green is a little bit more of an acid green that's in the tree. I don't actually have my floss pack for this here. It's in the other room. But there's another more muted green that comes into play for the day 2 chart, which is the doves. And then these greens are mixed together in a few of the other designs. So yeah, that was a finish. Ring the bell. I love how the back stitching, you know, back stitching did its magic there on the letters, and just having them pop out like that, they look great, if I do say so myself. And there's an up close of the bird. Isn't that good? Yeah. Had these charts forever, well, since 2017, and have just always wanted to stitch them. So it's been great to get them finally underway and on the go. So that was my finish. I've had a couple of new starts one in particular, but I'll share that in a minute. I love this so much. Sing After the Storm. This was a collaboration, and is a collaboration that I'm working on together with Leanne of 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers, as well as Carrie of Roxy Floss Co. This was the Stitch North 2023 exclusive kit that is now available. This was the first chart of 5. And I explained in super great detail about this project on the video that we did last Thursday. So instead of repeating myself, if you want more information about this project, what I'll do is I'll leave a link to that video below, and I will include a timestamp of where you can skip to if you would like to just watch the information about this project, because the original sampler that it's based on is not being reproduced. Leanne is taking 5 of the motifs and she's making individual patterns, and then my plan at the very end of this, you know, a year from now, is to put them together in a 9-patch block, combining them with quilting cottons and turning them into, for me, likely turning them into a pillow. But a tote bag, or, you know, another, like a larger quilt, using them as the center panel in a larger quilt. The options are limitless, and really also each design is going to be a standalone design. You could easily frame each one by themselves and just have a montage of individual beautiful projects. So, you ready? Look at it. There's mine. So, there we go. It's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. I've done a fair bit on this since the last time I shared it here. The top is now completely finished, berries and everything. So I'll bring it in nice and close so you can see what the colors to. The lighting isn't going to agree with me today. The sun is really trying. We're just coming out of a period of intense rain and drizzle and humidity. So we'll see what we can do to get the picture, the colors. It's so fun. This side, the bird and underneath the bird is complete. Obviously, I'm missing the bird that goes over here. And there are more leaves here under the bird, as well as obviously, no, these ones are done. These ones are done here. Oh, there's more leaves under here. That's right. So there's more leaves here, and there's a big bird here, and then I'm done. So I guess you're looking at the pattern, aren't you? You can see what I'm missing. So, funny story. Funny story. Do you see the picture of the design here, the model, and my stitching here? Same dye lot of fabric. I would know, because I'm the one who sent Leanne the fabric. This is this fabric. So in a photograph, it looks like this. In real life, it looks like that. And probably you're seeing a third version of it on your screen at home. And you'll probably see a different version of it on our photo online. This is just an example of how difficult it is. And also when you're like Roxy Floss Co, she's just one woman. She's a small operation. And you know, the way that she dyes in small batches, things just come out differently. So each dye lot is slightly unique and slightly different. So the way that we're selling this is you will get a different piece of fabric. If you choose to purchase the fabric and the floss, you'll get a different piece with each one. And my hope is that at the end of this, I'm going to have 5 different pieces of linen with stitching on them that don't necessarily matchy-match. But when put together in a patchwork style design, they're going to complement each other. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to turn out at the end. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And it's literally one of the prettiest things I've ever stitched. So chart 2, I have seen chart 2. It is, Leanne is getting it to the printer as we speak, and it will be released in the middle of August. So it's not ready yet, it's not available yet. Some of the flosses from the first chart will be reused in chart number 2, but not all of them. There will be a couple of additional flosses needed. It is a floral design, and so we'll have an option available on the website where you can just purchase a smaller add-on floss pack if you already have, if you've purchased chart 1, you want to stitch chart 2, but you really don't need more floss that you've got leftovers from chart 1. You can of course use your floss that's left over, and yeah, it's really pretty. So that is my Sing After the Storm, and I need to get that finished before chart 2 comes out. I am hosting a very casual stitch along, and this is, did I bring it? No, I didn't. My chart for this is at home. So this is the maximum cross stitch friendship sampler, and I'm stitching the smaller version of this, and I'm loving this so much. I can't even tell you. I have left this on my floor frame at home. I leave it set up, and at night after dinner with coffee, we'll sit in the living room and we'll watch a television show, or, you know, chat about our days. And this is what I've been putting a few stitches into every single night after work. And so it hasn't been a lot, but it's been really intensive stitching, brickwork in a house, because what I'm doing is I'm going to finish, well, I don't know, I might want to do a little bit of the fill-in because it's so satisfying. But the fill-in is going to be super, super easy. I won't have to count, I won't have to do anything. It's one color, load my needle up and just fly through the bricks. So I have been working on, well, let me show you the whole thing first. So here it is. See that? Look at that. The house is really growing. So last Thursday I had most of the window outlines stitched, but none of the brickwork in there. And so all of that is now done. I only have to fill in those 2 windows that are on the end, and then the entire top half of the house is ready for fill in, and then it's done. Isn't it pretty? I love it. I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count porcelain by Roxy Floss Co with the called for flosses. And actually, that reminds me, we haven't yet put together a floss pack for the smaller version. We only have the floss pack for the larger version ready to go in the shop. If you've got the smaller one, is only available as a PDF from Ellen's website, which is www.maximumcrossstitch.com. And you can only get the smaller version as a PDF from her. And the floss list is there, and we have all of the flosses listed as individual colors. So you don't need to buy the original Friendship Sampler pack, because I don't think it uses all of the same colors. I think there's a few that you don't need. Not that they're not gorgeous colors, but you know, you don't need to buy them all because you won't use them all. The fact that I can see that I'm going to be able to, my deadline for my personal deadline for this is to finish this by the end of August, because I have a very special stitch along and knit along starting September 1st. Most of you already know about it, so I know I'm repeating myself. I repeat myself every time I come on here and chat with you. But you know what? There's always new people. There are always new friends to talk with. And if I don't say some of these things, if I don't repeat myself, then I end up having to answer a lot of questions because, you know, if someone new is seeing this, they've never heard this before, so it's brand new information. I can tell, I know it, like that I am going to have this finished by the end of August. You know, touch wood that nothing, you know, comes up to scupper my plans. But I can see that if I continue consistently working on it the way I have, I should, with a couple of intensive weekend bursts of progress, I will be able to finish this by the end of August, which is very exciting. I should mention, Luna's not here with me today. Luna is my dog, who is my snoring soundtrack, usually for these videos. She's at home today. I snuck out and got my hair done today, and doing this takes a long time, and so I knew that she would be a little bit upset that I was gone for so long, so I left her at home with my son, who is of course on summer break from school, so that she would be there with him. Luna loves everybody here at the workshop. She absolutely loves everybody. She has a particular soft spot for Daniel in particular, and I know full well why. It's because at least twice a week Daniel brings carrots in his lunchbox that are specifically for Luna. So she is just a sucker for Daniel. She loves him. She loves everybody here, but she does tend to get a bit anxious if I'm gone for longer than, you know, just popping out to grab lunch or something. So I left her at home today. She's doing just, because I know lots of you know Luna, and she's aging. She's going to be 10 this coming October, and she's a large dog. She's an American Bulldog mix, and her back legs are, and hips and knees are showing signs of some pretty bad arthritis, and I suspect she's got maybe a minor knee injury that is healing, but she is now on some very good anti-inflammatories, daily anti-inflammatories that she'll likely be on for the rest of her life, and it's meaning that she can manage the stairs here again at work. She does have to climb a set of stairs every day, and she follows me around the office, so if I have to go downstairs during the day, I have to shut the door so that she stays up here and doesn't do that staircase too often. She's a very good girl. She's a very good dog. The goodest girl. So that's my friendship sampler. Now, sampler September. If you have never seen it, this is a really Canadian collaboration. So a number of months back, I'm going to say this was probably in December or January, I spoke with my friend Ellen, who is Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour. Ellen Reed, also Ellen Reed of the Crash Test Dummies, the one and the same. I love that. Like, seriously, if you'd asked me 20 years ago that I would actually know Ellen Reed from the Crash Test Dummies, I would have told you were absolutely crazy. It's incredible. And she really is all that and a bag of chips. So we were chatting, and I said, you know, I have this really, really, really beautiful fabric that I think would be perfect for a sampler style design. We should do something for Sampler September. And Ellen says, yes, I think that's a fantastic idea. So Ellen looked at the fabric, and within a week, she not only had the idea, she had the basic design of the charts sketched out, and she had the stitching well and truly underway. And so here's the design that she came up with. You can see my camera set up in the back there, but there. Now you can just see the chart. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. And I love that it's not huge, because I want to, for me, I am going to be hosting this as a stitch along. I'm going to be having videos on this channel. I have a plan to finish this in the month of September. So I hope that you'll join me with that. I hope you'll join me here for a little daily visit, and that we will stitch this together and share our progress on Instagram and just enjoy the beautiful stitching together. So Ellen came up with the chart, and she chose her flosses that are Roxy Floss. And then I took her colors that were dyed by Carrie of Roxy Floss. So they're Carrie's floss colors. And I sent them to a local yarn dyer who I have become quite friendly with. Her name is Heather, and her company is called Timber Yarns. And Heather is she is a specialist in dyeing self-striping sock yarn, which is like magic. Self-striping sock yarn is truly magical. It's a magical thing, and they're so fun to knit. I love knitting self-striping sock yarn. It's probably my favorite thing to do, is to knit a pair of socks using that. And so I sent Heather the floss pack, and I said, could you please dye, that sounded funny, I'll finish my sentence, could you please dye a set of a self-striping sock yarn, like a twin set, so that we can start something fun that's maybe going to become a tradition, where we have a stitch along and a knit along, where the yarn is based on the floss. And guess what? She totally nailed it. So this here, you can see there's two of them. There's two. You should end up with identical socks. And it knits up like this. So it looks like that. Now I have 15 sock sets left in stock. If we sell more than that, there will be a little bit of a delay getting the yarn to you, because Heather would have to dye it. So I can't guarantee, once we sell the next 15 sets, I can't guarantee that you'd have it by September 1st. But my plan for the socks is to have the socks take 2 months. So one sock in September, because the yarn is called Sampler Stripe Timber 2023. I think you can get that to focus. It's trying to find my forehead. There we go. And look, I mean, look at that yarn. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna knit the first sock in September, and I'm gonna knit the second sock in October for Socktober. It's gonna be amazing. Now, you don't have to just knit socks with sock yarn. You could knit a hat. This hat is that set of yarn. This is the Musselburgh hat. That's the pattern by Isolde Teague, and it can be worn various different ways. And I have never put this hat on with straight hair. I've only worn it with curly hair, so I'm not sure how this is gonna look, but let's give it a go. So, there. Oh, cute. So, look at the colors. See that? That one right there? That's my favorite. The shape of this hat is great because it's just got enough give in there. So you can wear it like a beanie, like that, or you can put the brim down and you can, you know, be super cool and wear it with a bit of slouch in the back, which is also really cool. Love it. So yeah, so that's knit with sock yarn. Again, so it's called, this is Musselburgh hat. I will have the name of the pattern in the drop down box below. Isn't that great? So yeah, I think I'm gonna need a second set for myself. These models were actually knit by Heather, and they are, did I tell you the knitting was gonna be at the end? I fibbed, didn't I? There's knitting in the middle. I have to send these samples back to Heather. So I'm gonna, I don't know, I think I'm gonna have to make one for myself. So the other thing other than sock yarn, and I don't have a package here to show you because I've actually sold all the ones that were here, but I have 20 more sets coming. They're on the way, they've been dyed, they're actually in the mail as of today, on their way to me from Heather. She dyed a set of 12 mini skeins, I think they're 20 grams each of the colors that are in the pack, so that you could have a set of 12 of each of the colors. And this was the project that she knit with it. So it's a cowl, It's a double thickness cowl, and she's got thicker stripes on the one side, and because it's joined, you can see here, you can wear it whatever way you want. If I pull this out, you can see there's she did skinnier stripes, so you could wear it either way. You could wear it with the skinnier stripes, or you could wear it with the thicker stripes. So it's double thick, and I have actually started mine. And I know when, I think it was Lisa, Forest City Stitcher, asked Forest City Stitching if I had the pattern for this. No, this is a kind of like make it up, cast it on, knit, 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 and, you know, graft your edges together. It's a little bit of a, you know, like telling a cook or asking a cook, how do you make that meatloaf? And the cook says, I just chuck it in and I put it in and I take it out when it smells done. This is exactly that kind of a pattern. So if you want exact instructions on how to make something like this, I'll be talking more about this. I don't know. You know what? I'll just put the little recipe that I have in the description box below. Some of it might not make sense if you're a newer knitter, but veteran knitters, you know, it'll be like, you know, baking a meatloaf with no recipe. It's easy. Anything, if there's any techniques that you don't understand, there are so many YouTube videos that are available to help teach you techniques, or, you know, ask questions. Ask us questions. Somebody in the comment section or on the Facebook groups are always willing to help. So that's the set of 12. And this is the shop model. This is not mine because I haven't, I think I've done 6 stripes. I can't remember how many total I've done. Whew, okay, so where are we at? So that was Sampler September, and I showed you my Friendship Sampler. Oh, I didn't show you this yet. Carrie and I went to Edmonton back at the end of June, and I received a gift there from Lisa of Lost in Stitches. If you're, she is a floss tuber from Alberta, and she gave Carrie and I both these beautiful pin cushions. They are perfect. They are the prettiest fabric. Look at that. Look at that fabric. Back. See how she put it together? It's like a pearl cotton, I think, or is it maybe just... I think that's a 6-strand of DMC that she's used to pull it into the shape of a biscornu. It's almost like a little tufted cushion, if you know what I mean. And then she put a beautiful little, oh, I need my glasses to see if you can see that. There's a little beaded pin at the top. See that? Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Sparkly. And then she had that in the top with a little tag with her name on it. And it's just so sweet. So Lisa, thank you. It was a lovely gift. That was a fun retreat. That's the Stitch and Stash retreat in Edmonton. And I know that the hosts, Jean and Kelly, are already booking for next year. So there is a Facebook group. I think the Facebook group is just called Stitch and Stash Retreat Edmonton. I'm pretty sure. And it's held at the Fantasyland Hotel, which, trust me, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Carrie and I always we seem to have a good time together. We don't get into any trouble. Not yet. We tend to start a lot of things though, a lot of new projects, and I'll tell you, I came home with 5 new charts. As you do, I guess. Okay, oh, to show you this. Okay, Jan Hicks Creates. So many of you will know this chart. This is the Palace of the Winds. And oh, it's so pretty. but I wanted to stitch it in blue. And I wanted to do a Roxy Floss Co conversion. So this is, Jan says it's a study of variegated threads. And I believe the original calls for cottage garden. Must be. It's just got the floss names on here, but I believe they're cottage garden threads, which are, many of them come in a really heavily variegated format. And so I wanted to do a blue version. So here's where I am at so far. I need to put something behind it because it's on a fairly light colored linen. Well, a very light colored linen. So that's what I have so far. Isn't it pretty? So this is 46 count porcelain linen, Roxy Floss Co porcelain linen. It's so pretty. And here are my flosses. Look at that. See that? Oh, okay. So my colors are, a couple of these are new. So I'll tell you, start with the one that was from the regular collection first. This is called Powdered Up. And the very first time we used this floss was in the Rosewood Manor Winter Quakers conversion that we did. And it is a really pretty light blue, blue-gray, variegated. There. My editing time is really limited today, so hopefully we can get this to focus without a lot of malarkey here. So that's Powdered Up. And then I'll show you the darkest one next, which is called Blue in the Face. And then I asked Carrie to do a floss that was in between Powdered Up and Blue in the Face, and so she came up with this beauty right there, which is now known as Rock On, because these are all based upon a floss that my friend Gwyneth wanted. She was using Powdered Up and she asked Carrie, she said, I want a version of Powdered Up that's a little bit deeper blue, a little bit darker. And so Carrie dyed it, and it's in the shop. It's called Gwyneth. And then the Blue in the Face was based on that Gwyneth floss, but a much, much darker version of Gwyneth. That's what Blue in the Face is. And so because Gwyneth is a curler, she throws rocks. No, I'm not a curler. If you understand curling lingo, you know what I mean. But anyways, we called it Rock On because she's a curler. And it's also a nod to our friend, our common friend, Ellen, who loves to say, and I always look so square when I do this, rock on. And I know that Ellen is totally rolling her eyes at me, but whatever. Gwyneth is a curler, and so they're rocks. Rock on, Gwyneth. So that is my Palace of the Winds. One more look because it's so pretty. I honestly, I'm so pleased with this. It's turning out exactly how I hoped it would. I love it. So we have the physical charts. We have the paper charts in the shop along with floss and linen if you like the blue version. So that is Palace of the Winds. Jan Hicks Creates. Love it. So my battery died and my secondary battery wasn't fully charged up yet. So I had to wait a little while and I had some other work to do. And here I am back again, and I'm not sure where I left off, but I'm pretty sure I had just finished telling you about my Jan Hicks Creates piece So the other and last thing that I've been working on in part of my regular whip rotation is the Bart Dunn Park Hopper Bart, the Black Cats and Spooky Bats. This was a collaboration that we did, was it last year or the year before? I think it was 2 years ago. We had a bag set and everything, and it was, I love this chart, and this is the year. It's time to finish it. So here's where I am at. So I pulled this out a couple of days ago, maybe on Friday or Saturday, and I finished the top border and I counted down, started the bottom border, and I put in a couple of the motifs in that band right there. So not all that much. Let me put something behind it. This is a really fun stitch, and I love the combo. This is a picture this plus fabric called Cyprium, and I'm doing it on a 28 count, 2 strands of floss over 2, and this is the Roxy Floss Co floss pack that Bart chose for this design. So yeah, this is a fun stitch. I don't often stitch on, this is an even weave. I don't often stitch on even weave anymore, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not overly my favorite anymore. I think if I'm gonna, I prefer Aida over even weave. Linen is my favorite, and then given the choice, because I think for some projects Aida is for me the better option, like all of the landmark tapestries and charts pieces that I've done. I'm just thinking, I can't remember what, oh, here it is. I knew it was here somewhere. These ones. I've done 5 of these. This is, so 6 total. This is the 6th one. I haven't worked on these in ages. I have another one started because this set of 5 is for my son. So I better get cracking since he's already 15. And each one of these takes quite a while. So landmark tapestries and charts, these charts are impossible to find. I've only ever found one place who, in North America, who carries them. Her name is Claire, and her shop name is www.celtichobbies.com. I can't remember the name of this one off the top of my head. I think it was Oz, might have been Oz. But there's a set of 12. I'm stitching 10 of the 12, and actually there are 6 colorways. So sorry, 6 charts, 2 colorways. So the 6 charts are repeated in another colorway. So I'm stitching 5 of the designs into different colorways. And for this, I'm using a 16 count natural colored Aida and full coverage. Now I know the coverage is not perfect, but to my eye, and when these are framed and they're on the wall, they look pretty spectacular, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I haven't shown this off in a while, so thank you for humoring me. As you can see, it's still rolled up. That's still rolled up. That's okay. Do you want to see the other thing that was rolled up with? It's another thing I have not taken out in a long time. See, I'm often asked this, what happened to all your old whips, and why don't you ever show us your old whips anymore, and what happened to this piece and what happened to that piece? Other than the odd one, Glendon Place Tiramisu, I've been asked about that one before. That one I did give away to a friend. I did abandon that whip, and I tell you, I totally blame my friends Kathy and Neil, because Kathy, both of them were stitching 2 of the dessert series by Glendon Place on a 28 count linen 1/1. So they were tiny, like teeny tiny, and so gorgeous that when I looked at mine, it made me disappointed. And you know, they're a lot of work. they're a lot of work, and I thought, you know what, I just fell in love with their versions of it so much that I thought, you know, if I finish this, I'm not gonna want to put it on my wall because I'm gonna wish that it looked like the other. That happens to me very rarely, very rarely. Normally, I'm confident enough in my own choices and my own stitching that I love what I make and how I do it. And I think everyone should feel that way. Doesn't matter what your material is, whether it's Aida, even weave linen, you know, 56 count to 28 count. It's just a tool to provide you with a finished project or product that you love. And I wasn't loving it anymore. And so I did give that one away. But I'm often asked, you know, we never see your old projects anymore. Or if I do, I'll show one or two because I've pulled it out to work on. And the truth of the matter is, the long and the short of it is that my business, my work is now stitching. My work is, you know, selling linens and flosses and charts. And so a lot of these older projects, I love them. I haven't fallen out of love with them, but my cross stitch time is so limited. I have to put it towards things that are for my work, because we all know cross stitch takes a long time. I can't take a whole week to, you know, pull out and only work on exclusively some of the older projects that I have. It's just not, I'm not at that stage in my life right now, in my work life, and I'm not sad about that. I love all of my things in my stash and my past projects, and 95% of them I will continue to love and wait for that day in my future when I can bring them back out and work on them again. But it's just not now. But this was the other piece that was there. This is one of the Northern Expressions Needleworks designs, shades of wine. I know, right? Isn't it beautiful? I mean, it's beautiful. But it uses a linen and a floss that I don't carry in my shop. And so for me to spend 6 months, a year on this, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. I could easily restart this with Roxy Floss Co linen and floss, but why would I? This is beautiful. This is absolutely gorgeous, and I love it the way it is. I think I did a conversion on this. 2 of the flosses are called for. 2 of the silks in this are the called for. And I think that darker color is a cotton. See, that's the other thing. I mix cotton and silk if it's the right, you know, if it was the right colors for the project. I don't have a problem mixing materials. Some people do, and well, that's, you know, there's a lid for every pot, right? You should stitch what you love and love what you stitch. And at the moment, I'm loving what I'm stitching, so. Yeah, Northern Expressions Needleworks, there's a whole series of shades of and all different kinds of color combinations, and they are absolutely beautiful charts. And this is no exception. I have not really worked on this since the New Jersey Flosstube retreat in 2019. So that was a while ago. But it's no less beautiful, and I still haven't fallen out of love with it. And so that one is just going to stay tucked up into my stash pile for a little bit longer. Plans. I have some plans. So I told you I received a birthday gift. Well, I kind of chose it myself. John said, "Are there any crafty things that you want for your birthday?" Because you better send me a link, because I won't know what to buy for you. So there is a yarn shop in Toronto called the Knitting Loft, and they have quite a lovely online selection. And at the time, I didn't have time to do any in-person shopping, and he was looking for a link like in the next hour or so. You know, what can I get for you? So I went on and I looked at their different kits that they had for offer. And I found this, this kit. Now it doesn't actually come with the pattern for the shawl. I do need to still purchase the pattern for the shawl, which can be found on Ravelry. But the yarn that I chose is enough yarn to do the Anjo triangular shawl and cowl. This one here, and it's by Ito Yarn and Design. So this is the project that I'm going to do. Isn't it pretty? And they had 4, 5 different colorways that you could choose from. And so I chose, now it's a really interesting combo, and this is actually why I chose it, because I've never knit with anything like this ever. It's a cotton yarn and a mohair silk blend, and you hold them together, you hold them double to knit your project. And so this is the cotton yarn. So you can see there, is that upside down? Yeah, Ito. And you can get a close-up on the yarn there. Look at how pretty it is. Get my face off the screen there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then combine that with this fluffy, soft mohair. Oh, it's delicious. So this is 60% mohair, 40% silk. Oh, and it's the softest thing ever. Mohair, I'm a little funny with mohair because sometimes, you know, it can go up my nose. I don't often wear it, but I think that mixed with cotton, it should tone it down a little bit. And I just, that color is so rich and beautiful, and I love it. And so it came with 2 little skeins of each. Now I say little, so that's what came in the kit. Each one is 25 grams. So the cotton is 25 grams, 212 meters, 231 yards. And the mohair silk blend is 20 grams, but it's 240 meters, 262 yards. Gorgeous. So that was my birthday present this year. One of my birthday presents. He did give me something that he had chosen himself as well. John is a very generous mate. So plans. Let me show you the one I haven't started first, because this one I know is going to work out the way it is, because well, I'm not fiddling with anything that the original designer intended. So my friend Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch, you may have seen that lately she has come out with 7 new charts. 7. They're amazing. I have been asked if we're going to carry the paper copies of her queens. She's designed a series of 3 English queens, Henry VIII's, 3 of his wives, and the skirts all are filled with specialty stitches, and they're beautiful. So I don't have paper copies of those yet, but if there's enough interest in paper copies of those, then I could be I would be more than happy to bring them in, because I think they're fantastic. But they are now available as PDFs directly from Ellen's website. I am bringing in the 3 animal designs that are the Thief series, because these have been favorites of mine ever since I saw Ellen first designing them, and she has shared the whole process with me all along. So watching them come to life, watching her go through the design process and create these really whimsical, they're whimsical, yet they feel a little bit traditional, but they also feel modern. It's Ellen's style. She's really growing into it, and she's really developing her own real sense of style. And you know, now looking at these charts, you think, you know, I think Ellen designed that, and well, I know she designed it, but I think that her style is becoming recognizable and frankly delightful. So I I'm lucky that I get the opportunity to stitch these designs. So there are 3 in the Thief series so far. There is the Honey Thief, which is a bear stealing a bee skep, a honey pot. And there is the Pineapple Thief, which is a monkey stealing a pineapple. And there is the Pumpkin Thieves, which are 2 birds that are stealing pumpkins. And the whole idea came about from Ellen's original Sampler September design, from this bird in this chart stealing the pumpkin. And so the very first chart that she did after this one was the Pumpkin Thieves, where the 2 birds are stealing the pumpkins. And so all of these charts, all 4 of them, September's Revenge, plus the 3 Thieves charts, I think will make a really beautiful collection. So I am starting hopefully this weekend. I've got my supplies ready to go. I want to start the Honey Thief. So I'm going to start with the bear, and our paper copies of the charts haven't arrived yet. They've been with the printer since last week, so they should be arriving any day now. But I'm going to get started with my copy from Ellen, and then I'll be able to share the cover photo of you when I have it. So I've taken the other half of a piece of 46 count porcelain that I had in my stash. I think I used the other half of this for, my throat just got really dry. Coffee will fix it. The Spring Quakers design by Macy of Quaint Rose Needlearts, the Quaint Quakers with the little Quaker pigs on the design. It's so sweet. I think that this is the other half to that quarter yard. And so I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to stitch it in this orientation, and then I should be able to fit at least 2 of the Thief charts on this 1/8. I haven't double checked my math yet. That's my next job. And also to serge my end there. And here's the floss pack. Actually, I show you the floss pack on the fabric here. So these are the colors. It's a really richly colored design, and I think it's gonna be so much fun to stitch. So 1 strand of floss over 2 on 46 count, because I want them to be small. So I'm often asked when I show my floss rings, I like to now put my projects that use multiple skeins of floss on. This is what's called a flexible key ring. I think that's all it's called. I buy them off Amazon, and they're super inexpensive. I can buy them in sets of 50. And so flexible key ring, and then I'll use a little piece of cardstock, and I'll write the title of the chart and the designer's name right on my cardstock there. You can see. So, and then I have I'll pop in a picture here, because actually I love the collection is growing. I have a bulletin board out in my sewing room where I hang these on the bulletin board, and then I can see which project it's for. So when I go to work on another project, I just pull the key ring off the bulletin board and I'm good to go. So yeah, so that is going to be my plan for the Honey Thief. And I showed you my scarf. I'm probably not going to cast on my scarf anytime soon, because I really need to finish a sock using the Afterthought heel. I need to learn how to do that. So I have to do that first, and I need to do that before September 1 so that I'm ready to cast on my Sampler Striped Timber socks. I'm going to be, I want to use an Afterthought heel on these so that I don't break up the stripe pattern, and so that's why I need to learn how to do it. I want to do it on another sock first before I do these ones. I've got random floss stuck to my shirt here. Okay, last plan. Now, this one is kind of a work in progress. So let me tell you about it. This is a chart we've had in the shop for a little while. It's one of Jacob's newer charts, but it's not like new as of like last week or anything. It's maybe a couple months old. This is the Modern Folk Embroidery NGD 1699, a Dutch flower sampler. And according to Jacob, I believe he said that this is one of the oldest, this is the oldest sampler in his collection. And on the back of his chart here, he's got photos of the sampler that this is based on. Now, as you can see, he's taken a fair bit of liberty bringing the colors back to life, right? Which I'm here for. I am not a, and I know there's a real school of thought here where it's a reproduction sampler. You really should try to make it as true to the original as the original stitcher did, because that you're reproducing their work. Whereas I'm more of a, it's gonna hang on my wall. I want to stitch what I want to stitch and make it look the way I want to stitch. And sometimes it's maybe a study in color or a study in what looks great together or what I love and what I'm going to enjoy working on. So I looked at this, and we had some pieces of 40 count linen that were, we've been really busy here at the workshop preparing for the holiday countdown boxes. They are we do a countdown. Last year was the first year we did it, and this year we're doing it again. It's a 25-day daily opening of a special part of a mystery design by Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery, as well as a skein of floss and an 8-yard skein of floss from Roxy Floss Co. And the occasional, throughout the box, not every day, but there are a couple of extra treats along the way. And there's fabric in the box, your choice of fabric. And, you know, we have a lot of people participating in this, this Advent style holiday box. And also I'm hosting a daily stitch along of the mystery chart here on this channel starting December 1st. It was a lot of fun last year, and I am so excited about this year's box and chart. I love it. I love everything about it. None of it is a surprise for me, clearly, but I am so excited to put it together and to watch everybody enjoy this project that we've been working so hard on. So it's a big part of our work life around here at Evertote is the holiday countdown. So, you know, Carrie's been dyeing linen and dyeing floss all the way along. Well, we had some of the fabric, we had some 40 count of the linen. I can't tell you anything about the linen for the box because I want it to be a surprise. December 1st, you open your box, you get your linen. It's going to be a brand new colorway from Roxy Floss Co. It's beautiful. We're going to launch it in our shop at on the same day, December 1st. It'll be available in the shop. It's gorgeous. But I'm not showing it to you before then, and I'm not telling you the name of it before then. It's gonna be a surprise for December 1st. However, we had some cuts of 40 count that had something went a little funny with the dye. And so Carrie took those pieces back and she over dyed them into something else. And they're amazing. Like they're gorgeous. So I was looking at this linen and I was looking at this chart, and all of a sudden I saw this chart on this linen. So bear with me, okay? Like, this is why I'm telling you this is a work in progress, because I'm not ready yet to say you should do this or this is a good idea or that I'm gonna sell it like this, because I wanna just sit with it a little bit longer, because there's one decision I already think that I'm gonna change. So here's the linen. Now, forgive me, it's still on my frame. This is, see the linen? Look at that, isn't it beautiful? So this looks nothing like the linen that's in the holiday countdown box. It's been completely over dyed. However, it is going to be repeatable. So this linen will be in the shop next week. The cuts that I have, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks after that, we'll actually have some yardage of it. But it's beautiful. So now I know this here, this is just quilt batting that I use to protect my fabric from the twill tape on my scroll rods. So I roll that up and then it just protects it. That's all it is. It's nothing else. And there's my stitching. Can you see that? Okay, so let me bring you in nice and close. Look at that. Right? All amazing. Let me just also put, I think I've never done this before. I need a board. I need a proper board. Floss tuber board. There. There, look at that. It's almost perfect. So the original conversion that Hannah did for this chart, this is the floss pack, which I have all of those colors, all of these colors I have now put into that chart. And the original red that she chose as the conversion red is called Pippi, and it's really a brown red. It's not a bright, vibrant red. It's really a brown red. And with these colors, this palette is stunning. So those are the original colors of Hannah's conversion, which on a super light colored linen, like porcelain or dirty porcelain, this jumps out, right? The Pippi would jump out and it would become a much bigger, vibrant part of the design. So if I was stitching this on porcelain, I would keep this floss pack the way it is, because those colors combine in such a way that just make me happy. However, on this darker linen, and I lost my sheet here, so stand by, I'm just gonna reach down and grab this. On this darker linen, that Pippi, that red, it doesn't jump off the fabric quite enough. I should have taken my bars off, but I was stitching right up until, you know, the end. So I am going to take that out and I'm going to switch the Pippi on this linen for Falu red, because I want it to pop off this darker linen. So this is Falu red, and I think this combination of Falu red on this linen is going to be, that's going to give me the contrast that I want. See that? I hope you can see it. I know it's not overwhelming amount of stitching, but bring it up close. There. And then let me sneak this in. Look at that. See that? Uh-huh. Yeah. I love it. So next week, I think I have 13 more pieces of this pre-cuts into 1/8 yard cuts, 40 count 1/8 yard cuts. And I think I'm gonna save them as they'll be kitted up with this chart and the conversion, except I'm gonna switch out Falu red for the Pippi in that conversion. So that's the plan anyways. I'm gonna rip that out, restitch it with Falu red just to triple check that that's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to do a little bit more of the stitching in that bottom corner, finish that motif, and then I think we're good to go. So that's the plan for that. The other thing we've been busily working away at here today is we are doing a Halloween shop update. We did not do a Halloween update last year, and the year before that we did the Park Hopper Bart Black Cats and Spooky Bats, and so I'm not a big Halloween stitcher. It's not generally something that I gravitate towards, And Bart's chart was something that I loved so much. Nothing last year really grabbed my attention, but there was a fabric that came out in the last when I picked. I generally tend to pick most of our fabrics a year ahead of time. Because it takes my supplier, it takes them a long time to send the fabric to us, and then, you know, I have to kind of slot it into where I want it. We only just received the fabric that we're going to use for Christmas winter bags this year. We got those last week or the week before. But anyways, I digress. We have Halloween bags this year, and they are so cute. I love them. I absolutely love them. We've got medium flats, we've got large flats, we've got a few wedge totes, and Carrie has done 2 different custom floss packs. There's a floss, and these are one of a kind. We've got 1 hank's worth of each color, 9 different colors. There's a pack of 6, and there's a pack, no, 10 different colors. There's a pack of 6 and there's a pack of 4. And each hank that I buy from Carrie, produces approximately 70 cards of floss. We card the floss here at Evertote. Carrie works here as well. She rents space in this building. We all work here together, but her business is separate from mine. But Evertote does the packaging part of the Roxy Floss Co. So my team here at Evertote winds and cards all the floss. So I only have 1 hank of each color, and it's kind of a one-of-a-kind thing. Once it's gone, it's gone. I think I should have about 70 floss packs of each. So there'll be a pack of 6. That pack of 6 matches the bags perfectly. And then there's a set of 4 that Carrie has wanted to do for a little while. She's always wanted to do a Halloween pack, apparently. So she dyed the floss and she brought it up to me. She said, look what I did. And it's Halloween. So they are lovely. And I'll pop in quick photos here at the end of this video. But I'm probably going to do a shop update video tomorrow over on the workshop channel, which is called Evertote Notes from the Workshop. So those are my plans. That's what's going on. It is, the sun has finally, it looks like the sun has finally dried everything off outside. It is hot. It's really hot outside. I'm sure many of you have been feeling the same way about the weather lately. It's, well, it is what it is. Family's all fine. John is, John's dad has gone up back to the cottage with my sister-in-law, John's sister. She lives in Italy. Her husband is Italian. She's been living there since they got married a long time ago. And so her and her family, they live there. So she will often come to Canada to see her dad, to see her father, and spend some time here with him. So she and her husband are here, and we had a lovely visit over the weekend. It was just John's birthday on Sunday. So yeah, his and my birthday are quite close together. And so we celebrated John's birthday on Sunday. We had a lovely family dinner and lots of presents. We went for a lovely hike. If you're local here to me in the London area, there is a beautiful park in the south end of London called the Meadow Lily Conservation Area. If you do go, make sure you take a phone that is fully charged with a working GPS on it, because it's quite easy to get lost in the forested area. It's a really large naturalized space. It's beautiful. And so we went for a wonderful walk, and then I made a roast chicken dinner, which is John's favorite, and an apple blueberry crumble was our dessert, and it was pretty good, if I do say so myself. Other than that, the kids are well. Nicholas has been invited for a weekend sleepover at a friend's house. So he and 2 other friends, I think they have descended upon the parents of this other boy, and they will be hanging out for the weekend. So John and I have an empty house to ourselves this weekend. Now, we both have a lot of work to do, but I think we're still going to make some time to hopefully watch a movie together. We've been watching, oh, what's it called? See, there are two shows that start with an S, and they're completely different shows. One is called Severance, and one is called Succession. Severance, both of these shows are amazing. Like, it's like any TV. It's my opinion, right? Lots of people might watch it and think, why the heck would you like this? But Severance is such a unique idea. The writing, it's actually also directed by, oh, I can see his face, the Zoolander fella. You know what I mean? You know who I mean. The funny guy. Oh, and he's very clever. Oh, anyways, it's directed by Zoolander. Oh, his name has completely escaped me, but the show is like really psychologically, it sort of bends your thinking. It's very unique idea, a little bit funny. It's like a dramedy, okay? Adam Scott from Parks and Rec is the main lead, male lead. And then, oh, the woman who plays Haley R. Oh, she's wonderful. She's just a wonderful actress. The whole cast is phenomenal. Christopher Walken's in it. Yeah, it's a great show. But there's the other show that starts with an S is Succession, which is that show, Succession. I can't watch more than one episode at a time because it is stressful. It's a really stressful show. And I know you think, why are you watching a stressful show? But it's riveting. The family dynamics in this show are so incredibly dysfunctional. You can't believe what you're watching. And it's the writing is incredible. The acting is incredible. It's just wow, amazing. So yeah, those are the two of the shows that we've watched. We've also, we've been watching The Walking Dead as well. I don't recommend that to anyone because it's so horrifically violent. And I'm telling you, I don't know who I am because I have never been one to watch violent television or movies, or like I would watch with like one eye open. And I'll tell you, that's still happening because I can't, jump scares really bother me. So I take my glasses off and I stitch because I was always a fan of Stephen King. I could read the books, I could, listen to audiobooks and things like that, but watching it is really different. And so I like the human interaction, but when it's really scary, I have to take my glasses off and stitch. But I'll tell you, we couldn't watch The Walking Dead when it was hugely popular way back when because it was just too much. We couldn't make it past the first episode. But then a couple months ago, the show The Last of Us, we watched The Last of Us, and again, very, very, very scary. But the human interaction, that the storyline and the story writing was such that you keep watching. But again, I had to take my glasses off and just listen. I just couldn't really watch this really scary stuff. And so then, we said, well, why don't we try this again? Because so many people talk about this show all the time and they like it so much. I still haven't been able to do Game of Thrones. And I've read all of the books. Nothing is a surprise in Game of Thrones. I know what happens. I just can't watch it. So we tried Walking Dead again, and I don't know, second time's the charm. We're enjoying it, but again, glasses off. Can't watch it. Too scary. But I don't enjoy horror. Like I would never go to a horror movie. That's far too much for me. I just can't manage it. But I put on the golf game, which I don't watch at all, and I'm completely happy because it's perfect stitching television. And John is happy watching a sport on TV that he enjoys, and everybody gets to do what they like. What else can I tell you? Sarah is doing well. She is taking a couple of weeks off with and spending some time with a girlfriend, and they are sort of having their last little bit of summer vacation as kids, I think, because she has a job, a proper her first grown-up job that she is starting in the next within the next month. She's incredibly fortunate that she's been able to secure this job, and fingers crossed that she's going to enjoy the work and enjoy what's to come, right? But it's that last kind of magical time that happens in between the sort of, I mean, let's face it, there are a lot of responsibilities and a lot of work involved in education, and, you know, getting those marks and, you know, doing all of the work. But there's a big difference between that and then all of a sudden starting slowly to strike out on your own, pay those bills, do the work, make the money. So yeah, but we're pretty proud. Both of our kids are doing really well. Luna's doing well. I told you a little bit about her earlier with her health. She is aging. You know, I see the signs. Her eyes are going cloudy, and her hearing is definitely not what it used to be. She totally missed an Amazon driver delivery the other day. Fortunately, he didn't ring the bell. When they ring the bell, she can still hear that, and she just kind of wakes up out of a dead sleep and goes kind of bananas, which is really bad for her back legs. So it's hard because I don't want to put a sign on the door that says, please don't ring the bell, because, well, you know, it's hard to hear people if you're upstairs. But on the other hand, I don't want her to injure herself. But, you know, we'll figure it out as we go. But she's doing okay for where she's at. Other than that, I think that's it. So yeah, it's still throwing me, man. Oh, it's so weird, isn't it? I know, it's really weird. Don't worry, next week it'll be curly again. But I can enjoy it for a couple of days at least. Yeah, but no more gray. See that? I know. I just talked for like 10 minutes about my hair, and it was a completely useless conversation, like talking about gray hair versus dyed hair. And trust me, no one wants to sit through 10 minutes of that. So I'm completely editing that out. My hair has completely freaked me out this entire time that I've had to speak to you, because it's so weird. I love doing it, but it really is weird. So when you see me again next week, it'll be curly again, back to normal. Okay, that's it for me. I'm off. It is Thursday. It is already 10 after 5. This afternoon has been a real mix of working in the workshop as well as chatting here with you. Hopefully I've remembered everything. By the time I actually get this video edited and uploaded, it might not even be up until tomorrow morning. So if it's Friday already, then happy Friday, everybody. I hope that you've got some fun things planned for your weekend ahead. I have at least one new start. I am going to start the Honey Thief. I am going to work on something good from old stash. 3 projects that I've mentioned here recently that I wanted to work back into my rotation, which were Amtrak, the Carriage House Samplings Frederica, and also the Blackbird Designs Seasons. I think, see, Amtrak, I was lucky enough to get the pattern sent to me by my friend Judy, as well as Susan at Stitch North brought me a copy as well. So I actually have a copy to give away. That Amtrak, I think, will be first because it's still on my timer app. I haven't completed my 6 hours on it yet, so I might get back to that this weekend. Whatever I do, we'll share it here together next week. So I'll be back here on this channel in 2 weeks, actually. Next week, I'll be recording with Carrie again over on the other channel. feel like I could talk for another half hour quite easily. I'm avoiding some work that needs to be done. This is much more fun. All right, off I go. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Happy stitching, and I'll see you around.